Good evening, and welcome to your AIDailyPress evening podcast for January 16, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. We've been closely following the situation in Iran, where protests against economic hardship and government corruption have been met with a violent crackdown by authorities. Reports indicate that hundreds of people have been killed and thousands more have been imprisoned. The Iranian government has imposed an internet blackout, making it difficult for journalists and citizens to report on the situation. We've also seen conflicting narratives in the media coverage, with some outlets highlighting the bravery of protesters demanding greater freedoms, while others focus on the government's claims of foreign interference. Award-winning journalist Samira Mohedin describes the situation as extremely volatile, with both sides engaged in a cat-and-mouse game. Meanwhile, the international community has condemned the violence, with the European Union calling for restraint, and the United States imposing new sanctions on Iran. In other news, India and the EU are nearing a free trade deal, as both powers navigate the challenges posed by an unpredictable Donald Trump. We urge all parties involved in these situations to prioritize human rights and work towards peaceful resolutions. We'll continue to monitor these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. And that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then she'll know what's right now. Firstly, we've been following developments in international relations, particularly with regards to Venezuela. CIA Director John Ratcliffe's historic visit to meet with interim President Delcy Rodriguez marks a significant step in shaping the future of U.S.-Venezuela relations. This comes amidst heightened interest from the United States and complex dynamics within Venezuelan politics. Secondly, we've been reporting on the Irish government's delays in updating its climate policies, which are crucial for meeting international commitments to reduce emissions and transition to a climate-neutral economy. Critics argue that these delays are unacceptable given the urgency of the climate crisis, with Minister Dara O'Brien facing scrutiny over the lack of an updated climate action plan for 2026. Lastly, we've been monitoring global events, including protests and significant developments in international relations, from the seizure of former President Nicolás Maduro by U.S. forces to opposition leader Maria Corina Machado's meeting with President Donald Trump at the White House. These stories underscore the intricate web of relationships and interests at play globally. As we move forward, it's essential to prioritize fairness, transparency, and the well-being of people affected by these events. We will continue to monitor developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Until tomorrow, good night. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. As we wrap up another eventful day in the markets, let's take a quick look at the key stories that caught our attention. We began by examining the quest for high-yield dividend stocks, with Realty Income, PepsiCo, and Ares Capital emerging as top contenders. These stocks offer yields ranging from 4.5% to 10.8%, but remember, each comes with its own unique characteristics and risks. We also delved into the performance of the Adams Diversified Equity Fund, a closed-end fund with a 7.1% yield and a diversified large-cap equity portfolio. While it has a strong record of outperformance, its current net asset value discount is less attractive than historical averages, prompting seasoned investors to recommend monitoring for a deeper discount before adding shares. In other news, Goldman Sachs impressed with double-digit dividend raises, while J.M. Smucker faces margin pressures but shows promise with growth drivers like Uncrustables and Café Bustelo. And as always, we're keeping an eye on the commodities space, particularly gold, as inflation concerns linger. As we head into the evening, remember that successful investing doesn't have to be a popularity contest. Focus on pursuing value stocks, stay informed, do your due diligence, and keep a level head. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we're looking forward to the upcoming launch of NASA's Artemis mission, which aims to return humans to the lunar surface by 2025. Our first article highlights the significance of this mission and its potential impact on future space travel. In our second story, we're exploring the innovative technology behind Redwire's deployable solar arrays, which will provide power to the Gateway Lunar Space Station. This cutting-edge technology has already been successfully tested on the International Space Station and is set to play a crucial role in future space missions. Finally, we're examining China's proposal to launch nearly 26,000 satellites into low Earth orbit as part of its CTC-1 and CTC-2 constellations. We're considering the potential implications of this massive satellite deployment on our orbital environment and the importance of responsible stewardship of our planet's space resources. These stories remind us of the incredible advancements being made in space exploration and technology, while also highlighting the need for critical thinking and sustainability as we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible in space. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We've got a thrilling weekend ahead of us in the NFL playoffs, with the divisional round schedule kicking off on Saturday. Our top story tonight focuses on the upcoming AFC divisional playoff game between the New England Patriots and the Houston Texans. The Patriots' electric offense, led by quarterback Drake May, will face off against the Texans' vaunted defense, which is looking to contain them. In other news, underdogs made a strong showing on Wild Card Weekend, going 4-2 against the spread, which could influence betting decisions for this weekend's games. The Chicago Bears are gaining attention as a promising pick, with Sportsline's advanced computer model backing them to cover at home against the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. We've also been analyzing the betting favorites for this weekend's NFL playoff games. The Patriots are favored by 3 points over the Texans, while the Rams are favored by 4 points over the Bears. However, as we all know, anything can happen on game day, and these predictions are subject to change. We'll be keeping a close eye on all the action and bringing you live updates and analysis throughout the games. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. First, we reported on the tragic shooting of Renee Good by an ICE officer in Minneapolis, sparking widespread unrest and calls for justice. We reflected on the complexities of this story and the importance of listening to the untold stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Next, we traveled to the UK, where a controversy surrounding an ICE officer was brewing, and then shifted our focus back home, highlighting the importance of taking the back roads and appreciating the beauty of America's landscapes, even in the midst of struggles. Finally, we embarked on a journey to the northernmost parts of our nation, where the northern lights are set to make a breathtaking appearance. We explored the science behind this phenomenon, shared tips for capturing the perfect shot, and highlighted the people and places that make this story so special, from small-town astronomers to indigenous communities who have witnessed the aurora borealis for centuries. These stories remind us of the complexity, beauty, and resilience that defines our great nation. Join us tomorrow as we continue to explore the heart of America, one story at a time. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Like you, Charles. Here's a quick rundown of tonight's top. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Atanacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we looked at a groundbreaking project in California that's using technology to combat wildfires. By leveraging AI-powered drones and advanced sensors, firefighters can now respond more quickly and effectively to emerging fires, saving lives and reducing damage to property and the environment. Next, we traveled to the Arabian Peninsula, where an extraordinary discovery has shed new light on the evolutionary history of cheetahs. The excavation of mummified cheetahs in Saudi Arabia has provided a unique window into the past, revealing clues about the extinction of these majestic creatures in the region and emphasizing the need for conservation efforts to protect our planet's precious wildlife. Lastly, we visited the Total Citrus Foundation in eastern Spain, which is home to the world's largest private collection of citrus varieties. This non-profit venture is not only preserving rare and exotic fruits, but also promoting sustainable farming practices and unlocking the genetic secrets that could help citrus crops thrive in the face of climate change. These stories showcase the power of human ingenuity and the importance of working together to protect our planet and its incredible biodiversity. Good night. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.